I wouldn't tell people it's a modern day take on Devdas. I would first just give them the story. They
Right.
would hear about this loser character and this
Right.
prostitute and this sweetheart, and they were like, "It's an art film, man. It's an art movie. Like, no one's gonna make
Right.
this." But then when I would tell them, "Well, it's been made 10 times over," they'd be like, "Really?" And then when I would say it's Devdas, then the penny would drop. Honestly, I did not approach anyone mainstream, big, or anything
Right.
like
Right.
that because I did not think they would take this on. I always wanted Anurag to begin with because we
Right.
knew each other back then, and so I always knew this was the film I would take to him, and I knew that he would love it. And sure enough, he did. With him too, he didn't guess what film it was. He heard me out. He's like, "Yeah, okay, well, what is it? Whatever."
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
"By the way, you know this story. You've seen it a few times." Then he was like, "Really? What do you mean?" Just like everybody else. And then I said, "Devdas," and then he was like, he didn't talk to me for half an hour. He was like, "Shut up,
Yeah.
I'm seeing it now."
Talking about Ayushmann, he was my
Right.
first hero.
Right.
And out of the 8 films that I've done, it's been 4 years, 3 have been with him. So he
Right.
will always, he's a very dear friend more than a
Right.
co-star. I'm really fond of him, and his journey and his growth feels like, I feel very happy when I see him.
Right.
I'm very happy for where he's reached, and he really deserves it because he's had such a long journey. And I think the forte that Ayushmann and I have is that there's a certain kind of cinema that we both kind of create when we get together.
Right.
And the 3 films that we've done have kind of been very true to that genre. And I feel very lucky that together we have created like a space with each other that is very rare. And I love collaborating with him.
हम चाहे जितना जहाँ चले जाएं, we are a country of multicultural value systems that are inherent. That little thread is joining all of us. So whenever we see an underdog story, the rise of course, for me, it's a story about 2 brothers who, out of forced circumstances, are thrown into, let's say, a certain setting. Of course, this setting is rather violent, and of course,
Right.
this is obnoxiously violent. And also to kind of say this beforehand, that Mirzapur बहुत मतलब actually शांत शहर है. तो एक fictionalize हमने उसको किया है and all that. But and I thought that really connected with people. That these were grass-rooted characters. The stories might not match with
Yeah.
when you go pan India, but what really connected was, I feel, the heart of it. We all have innocence. We all are inherently innocent kids that do not want to grow up. We have ambitions. We want to make our fathers proud. We want to make our mothers happy. We want to, tarakki jisko kehte hain. And when that happens,
the producer Ashwini Yadnik, the producer of the
Right.
show, she had this idea, and she used to like Masaba's Instagram post. So she
Right.
had this idea of a young girl like this, and she should only play the role. And then she thought of Masaba, and then she approached her, and Masaba thought it was some reality kind of a show or something, and she said, "I don't, I can't do it." Then she told her that it is half fictionalized, partly fictionalized, partly real. And then she told me, and I'm saying, of course, I have to play her mother. Nobody else can play her mother.
So I always do that. I go back to my old subject, try to see what can be
Right.
my next subject. So it was just a 2-page story which I had written and posted. So there is an email ID where I post all my ideas. So then I again go through all those ideas, and then this was popping out the most. I don't know why, and I said, let's do this. And there was a lot of eagerness. I really wanted to see from childhood. My only exposure to Hollywood and English cinema in a small town like Bhilai was Charlie Chaplin, Laurel Hardy, because they used to have these Saturday shows for the kids in the theater.
Right.
That was my only exposure. I started studying different directors and films after I came to Bombay. So I really wanted to marry both, have this Japanese kind of cinema and a story. So I thought it's a right combination to do both the things.
In the great realm of the mysterious actor, the actor who has great, like literally who carries such a fountain within them, but has already practiced the rigor and the economy of what it takes. Mostly that base is truth. She never fakes it ever, but she knows the craft also so well. So ek jhalak mein sab kuch duniya milti hai.
The hallmark of Amitabh Bachchan was his sarcasm, was his poker-faced, lines. So he was a chini-cum man to me. I mean, he wasn't too sweet a guy in anything. He would
Right.
say, he's not a guy like that, but he comes across as a person like that. He's got this, blank face, and he has these one-liners which are like that, without laughing, that he would say something like that. And that's the impression I had of him from his movies. So that's what I wanted to capture. So I said, here is this caduce, sarcastic man. I want to do a love story with Bachchan and Tabu. And I did that, and I needed a twist. And I said, okay, let's make this father-in-law younger than him. So what it would be. So that's how that happened. It actually happened during a Lifebuoy ad.
Luckily, I didn't expect it to be otherwise. I expected it to be tough. I think that's been my learning, because I've been seen my mother work on so many independent projects, which have been, often tough to put together or execute.
Right.
So I knew from the start that there would be problems every day. I think I became the best version of myself that I have been till now.
Okay.
Because I became so focused and so zen, where like troubles would not really upset me. I'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, they would upset me maybe, but it would not be like I would fall apart.
I've heard your script was very detailed in terms of graphics, in terms of how the set would look, and is that?
It was very detailed. Like there are shots which are described. Like
Yeah.
just from the top of my head, I can remember for example, when Shutu and Mimi have their lovemaking scene on the paper under the chair. Those are all written into the script.
I was summoned by the casting director, Hani Trehan.
Okay.
And he told me nothing about the film. He said, you have to come and meet me. Just come and meet me. And at the time, he was aware that I had already met with Karan Johar. I was, again, summoned by Karan Johar to his office. And he wanted he was making a film with young actors. And he wanted to see if I would fit the bill. And so Hani sir was aware of the fact that I had met with Karan sir. He said, I know that you are doing this, but just come and meet me, because there is an opportunity I want to talk to you about. And I went and I met him. I had assisted him on Urta Punjab. He was the second unit director and the casting director.
Right.
And he then went on to tell me that there is a film that is being directed by Majid Majidi in India, which blew my mind, obviously. And he said that I see you in the character, and I'd like for you to meet him. And in a few days, he had me in a room with him. I met with Majidi sir, and he asked me a few very basic questions. This is Mr. Majid Majidi. And he said, can you ride a bike? And then he said, do you do any physical activity? And then he told me that he would do an audition, and he gave me a brief of the character. He said he's a young boy. He smuggles drugs, and he has grown up on his own from the age of 13. And then he gave me a couple of scenes from the film, and he said, just improvise the rest and show me what you've got, basically. And that's how that happened. And I auditioned for him, and the next day he said, lock it.
To cut the story a little more into a brief answer, I would say that, I was working with a very close friend, Mr. Raj Kaushal, who I did a lot of ads with, lots of ads before Raj directed his first film, Pyar Mein Kabhi Kabhi. And he asked me to do a few songs on it. He said, Shekhar, I want you to sing on this. I want you to compose two songs for me on this. And then I started work at Farhad Wadia's studio at Breach Candy. And I used to go for my recordings in the day. And one day I was wrapping up at about 7:30, because I start early and I finish early.
Right.
It's been like that since 25 years now.
Right.
So when I finished my recording, Vishal walks in. So I was like, hey, man, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? I said, I'm working on Raj's film. He said, so am I. I said, great. He said, come, I'll play you some music. I said, I'll play you some music too. And we heard each other's music, and we were like, yeah, this sounds fun, man. Maybe we should do this together. I said, yeah, sounds like a great idea. And then we did the title track of Pyar Mein Kabhi Kabhi together. And that's where it started. It seemed like a lot of fun. It seemed like we were having a good time in the studio, and we thought, let's start this association together and let's see where it goes. And then after a couple of years, Jankar happened.
Man who doesn't want to watch a Let's Talk, and he's gone to Houseful for one reason and one reason alone, is that he works very hard. And his wife and he and she works very hard. They need a good laugh in the low tone and language, the tone that they understand. So it's very important to me that they enjoy themselves. So the same words as doing Gandhi, if I don't enjoy it, they won't enjoy it. I have to enjoy it. I can't say it's commercial, chalo, theek hai, let's do it. I love doing all this stuff, because I'll tell you the big secret here. The big secret is I grew up watching movies like that. I cannot knock a movie that was my diet as a kid, which included all kinds of movies. I watched French films, and I watched Bollywood, and I watched Hollywood, and I watched Manmohan Desai and Prakash Mehra and the broad comedy. And hey, suddenly, just because you do some kind of serious cinema doesn't make you you're an entertainer on that day. Be the entertainer. Don't be shy of it. Go for it. What did Mr. Sudhir Joshi teach me? If you don't believe, they don't believe. And if I'm not going to believe that I am that character, then the whole movie comes crashing down, because there's one weak link over there who's saying, yeah, it's commercial, money, good locations. It's going to do well in any case, man. There's Akshay Kumar, and there's Abhishek Bachchan, and there's Ritesh, who's, so funny. No, you have to stick with that moment. I enjoy those movies very much.
I don't think I could have asked for more. I had no idea at the time. In fact, when we came on shooting, film came to me in December, the previous December, and I thought it was cancelled or it was over. I didn't get the part. It was a very, very pleasant surprise. I saw the announcement with Army. So I was pleasantly surprised with that cast. I mean, there was Dawn French, Annette Bening, Russell Brand, Rose Leslie from Game of Thrones. So it was, of course, for me, the captain of the ship was already enough to, be excited about. Kenneth Branagh was also, he was the first person I was in touch with. When I flew down for costume trials and everything, I sat with him extensively on workshopping, and he individually made notes of my character and gave me study material, and I sat with him and we decided the looks. We went through some 3-4 different looks, which I had in mind. Nobody had any airs. We all met for the first time with the table read, which was actually on set. I think Gal was wonderfully warm and a very giving actor. Army at the same time. Emma Mackey, she's from Sex Education. She's done a wonderful job. I think even Letitia was there. She's wonderful from Black Panther. All these people.
I'm still looking for my voice. I don't know what it is. And I keep changing genre. I keep changing storytelling. I keep changing the structure of the film. But I don't know. I don't know what I am attached to more, frankly speaking. So my attachment always with the film remains at the time when I'm making the film, and when I'm done with it, it's done. And I start, because otherwise I would have made 3 films like Barfi. I would have made 5 films like Gangster, or 2 films like Murder. I just abandon it and get to the next zone. The next film, new language, new casting, new story.
Adapt these novels are not only at all because they are popular. It's because they speak to me in a very deep way that I cannot let them go. Jhumpa's story was like I found a sister in the world when I read it. Because I had just lost a parent in a foreign country, and the misery was, the melancholy was deep, and in the namesake, I felt like there was somebody in the world who understood what I was going through. And it's always that personal kind of pull that makes me adapt.
Ironically, it is because I'm from a film family. So, my family's been they pretty much have stayed away from a lot of self-marketing and promotions and film-based events. We grew up isolated from the industry so that we could not be affected by it. So actually, I think that added to my honesty. And then, of course, because I have them, I have the privilege of coming from that family, and I'm blessed with their support. So that gives me more strength. So if anything, it's not ironic. It actually makes sense. But I suppose it comes across as ironic because usually, even if you are from a film family, you don't go about being honest about the problems we have within our own industry, especially when coming from a family that's a part of it. The whole industry feels like it's a family. And you're embraced more easily. So while you have that privilege, but you also risk more because you have sort of a red carpet entry. So to kind of deny that is even worse than not having it. So it's a bit of both,
I would like to say first about Omkara that I think by that time I had done quite a few films already. Right. And I had actually come out of a long sickness, and I loved Maqbool like everyone else. Right. So I was really excited about Omkara. But I remember when I went for the reading and went for the shoot initially, I was quite intimidated because I think it was one of my first few films where there were a lot of Bollywood stars.
I simply adore, in fact, even on my phone, she's saved as Queen. Uh, every time I get a message from her, and in fact, it's so sweet because through the pandemic, she's been, we've been in touch also just through texting and stuff. And she's a gentle soul, really gentle. And she's somebody who's, apart from teaching me how to eat lobsters, has also educated me in my craft. And I think reintroduced me to Shakespeare in many ways. I also, with the corruption of social media and all the technology that I, being a avid reader myself, haven't read enough books that I would like to have read. So वो थोड़ा सा हमारा exchange बहुत अच्छा रहता था. I think she's been a great support system in that way and a great mentor.
So Mirza Ghalib happened. I was pregnant when I was offered Mirza Ghalib. Right. I was not showing, but I was pregnant, and I needed money desperately.
Right.
And this was a beautiful role. So when Gulzar sir called me, I said, please let me do this. But I want to tell you that I'm pregnant and it's early, so I won't show. And then he calculated that by the time I'll start showing, he would have finished.
Right.
And thanks to him, I mean, because he knew, nobody else knew, he really looked after me. He told the choreographer to give me easier dance movements, things like that.
Right.
So he was very, very nice and kind to me and affectionate to me. And it was a beautiful series.
I'd like to speak about Ananya as well because I didn't really know her personally before the film. And it was, every day was a surprise with her because it was, again, even for her, a role that a lot of people wouldn't imagine her in. And it was just so beautiful to see this young actor take it by the horns and, do something with it. That is entirely her own and be convincing in that. And I really enjoyed working with her, and she made my job easier. She also sort of made me more calm and relaxed because I'm really high-strung and, sort of sometimes I can be a little chaotic as well, and I can get stressed out easily. And she, like if, for example, a day of work isn't working and there's a weather problem or something like that, she would balance and center me. So she was serving multiple purposes on the set, and of course she was lovely in the film, and she is lovely to look at. So it was an all-round sort of enjoyable experience to work with her.
Streep in her younger days play older characters.
Right.
So I do feel like
That's
it's the
an interesting
director's
point. Yeah.
it's the director's prerogative. You always see, because we always draw a lot of inspiration from the West, and we just feel like the West is like a standard that we are trying to meet. So I'm just kind of indulge a little more in it. You have had many actors like Marlon Brando. He's like the godfather of acting, who has played like older parts.
Mr. B has always blessed me before I've started anything. I just launched my Shekhar Afjani School of Music. He blessed me for that. He blessed me the first time he met me. We were working on a song together. His blessings, his support has always been with me. And when they normally say, in the film industry, no one supports anybody like that, Mr. B has been my pillar of support since the time I started. So, I thank him for all his blessings. And when he launched the Hanuman Chalisa for me, he actually said it in front of the press, that yes, the सबसे best Hanuman Chalisa मैंने सुनी है. But I disagree. I feel his Hanuman Chalisa is the best I've ever heard.
It was wonderful to work with Ranveer. At that time, he was not a big star. He just had a film, and he was so just pleasant and not at all diva-esque, which I really appreciate. I can't bear it when people draw attention to themselves. And also really sound in terms of technical expertise.
Right.
I think because he'd studied filmmaking. So I remember this one day where there was some confusion about left or right or axis or something, which I'm terrible at still.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a vague instinct for it, but it's not like they ask me, I can be like, oh yeah, this. And I remember Anil Mehta, who's such a senior cinematographer, and Ayan in the first, they were discussing and they were a little confused, and they asked Ranveer, and Ranveer immediately said, it's this. I was very impressed. I was like, wow, he knows all of this also so well.
He did the tune, I think, in 3 minutes. He was something, and he said, that's all he did. And Swanand and I remember looking at each other. Swanand wrote a lot of things for it. Ajay kept saying, no. It has to be simple. It has to be it has to flow like that. So because he doesn't know Hindi so well, he looks at the sound of the word. So Swanand suddenly came and said, okay, Swanand, I told him, let's shoot this. I want to shoot this song in the loo. Yeah. So he's singing from the loo because he has to be in that studio. So let's do something with Peen. Swanand came up with this piddly seatback thing. So it happened like piddly. So I gave her this thing. It just happened like that. And Swanand wrote that whole song in about, I think, half an hour after that. After many, many iterations, just in half an hour, he came up with the whole song.
I was very frustrated. And I realized umpteenth time that I'm not getting work because people think I've shifted to Delhi because my husband is from Delhi and I don't work. So just before posting, I was somewhere and somebody asked me, oh, when did you come to Bombay? And I just lost it. And I realized this is the reason. I was angry, frustrated. I came home and I'm not, even now, I'm not a very tech-savvy person. And I, without asking, otherwise I will always ask Masaba, aise post karo, aise karo, aise karo. I was so frustrated. I just posted this. And then I shot. I said, shit, what will Masaba say? What will this say? What will that say? And then it really was very different reaction of people.
Find a Tamilian who speaks Hindi necessarily, they all
Right.
speak
Right.
So, not like we speak Tamil, right? So
Right,
fair enough.
right.
But so to do the Tamil accent in English would still be easier, but to do it
Yeah.
in Hindi was much more difficult.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, the process. We found this writer who had time to sit with me, and I would speak to him, talk to him, understand, found
Right.
out that there's no, they don't go, I don't think I can't remember now, but I remember him saying there's no her in Tamil. So that's why, and there's no ba in Tamil. So, which is why my name, which has a D and H, Abhay, will move lot, and they say Appai. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
interesting things like that. And then I would have him speak my dialogues, and then I would try and find, it was very difficult to, first, it's you're miming, you're just copying somebody, but then you have to now do it with emotion and naturally.
Right.
So that was a bit difficult. And then you don't want to stereotype it.
Right,
So
right.
parts where there's moments where he gets a little shaken up and he sounds typically Tamilian, but he would have picked up Hindi in the state he was positioned. So he should
Right.
sound like a Hindi
Right.
speaker from the state he's in. So we found his accent, and I did speak to some friends who are Tamilian, and one of them even said, you sound like my father.
Okay.
When he speaks Hindi. Yeah, so I was like, okay, that's great. I mean, he doesn't sound typical, but I think people are unique. And as long as you have the background, you could still sound different from every other Tamilian and still be Tamilian.
My female co-stars, because they honestly are my co-stars. It's a story, for me, the gender of the person doesn't matter. But what is important is that, and I keep saying this time and again, is that the fact that we kind of underline that these are stories these are stories about women, made by women directors or whatever, will help kind of reduce the gender disparity that is very, very, very large. I can't sit here and pretend there isn't gender discrimination. Of course there is. I have been very lucky to have worked with co-actors that are very secure,
When he came to me and said, I'm making a film, I said, okay, time has come. The time has come for us to make some money, long last. But it was not that kind of movie. It was an experimental film, which was meant to be shot in 1 week on a handycam, right? And I said, okay, let's do this. So he gave me a big manuscript like that. I said, this is all the material we have. And again, I said, this much. I said, okay. So what do you want to do? He's saying, we have to start rewriting all of this. There's lots of stuff. We got to pull out some pages. We got to improvise, and you'll be part of the writing team. So for a film that was never meant to be released, we spent 1.5 years rehearsing and writing. The actress, Maya Katrak, and Sanjay Sipahi Milani, that's Sippy. The four of us would sit in a room, and we would improvise and write and rewrite and transcribe. And this for a film that was never meant to be released. I don't know why we took so much trouble. Don't ask me. The least we could do was shoot it on 35 millimeter, but we didn't do that either. And this went on and on and on and on and on and on. Till one day we said, okay, let's shoot it. And we shot it in 7 days. Maya acted. She gave an amazing performance. And I did my thing. And we both felt very ill after it because it was emotionally very draining.
Okay.
We were very ill.
Yeah.
One day Maya broke down. One day I fainted. It was emotionally gruesome, to say the word, the right word.
My oxygen, really. I think that about music, and it was music very much that drew me to the making of Salaam Bombay. First, the music of Saida Bai, the ghazals of the, Ghalib and Daag and Mir, and the ones that so eloquently Vikram had written.
That was
of.
Kavita Set, right?
Yes, and then we took those poems that Vikram refers to in the story, and then we took them to Kavita Seth, who is extraordinary, because I chose Kavita for her voice. Her voice was very close to Tabu's and very beautiful. But did not know that she was a composer.
I can't even compare myself to R.D. Burman. No way. No one can. No, I don't think anyone in this country is even close to Panchamda. You can be inspired by Panchamda, but he is, and he will always remain the best musician India has ever seen.
There is a lot of love, very different kind of love, because he has, he'd love to say this, but changed my diapers. And, I've been, he's been almost like a father figure. He was almost 15 when I was born. And, he's seen me grow up, and of course looks at me and looks out for me in a very different way. I, on the other hand, look up to him. I always will. He's my elder brother. Before anything else, before being a movie star and before being any of that, he's my bada bhai. And I think that dynamic...
And वो भी 200 crore ka star. So
yeah, 300 to be
300,
precise.
300.
But God knows how many more crore hearts he has won, which is the thing that I am more proud of. He's able to move people with his work, and that's what we all do it for. I mean,
Kangana wanted to learn, and she was a rock player. You can mold her whatever way you wanted to, and we tried various stuff with her, the costume and the look and everything. But she was really hungry, and she really wanted to learn, and she was so new and raw and organic, and she was different. And the most of the people I used to meet that time, actors, they would not, make a place. They all used to look similar,
right?
Very similar. It was so Kangana stood apart.
English, because to me it's a complete film. It's a beautifully written film, beautifully done film. Great joy working with Sridevi, and I did a thing that I never did before, was produce a film, and to me that was a new experience. I had written. Writing films is a longer way of writing ads, but this is something that I'd never done before. So to me, it was a new experience.
बचपन तो गया, जवानी भी गई, एक पल तो अब में जीने दो, ना 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 ना. Some sunshine, give me some rain, give me all of my chance. I wanna grow up once again. Give me some sunshine, give me some rain, give me all of my chance. I wanna grow up once again.
I'd like to thank you, Mitrajit, for having me on the show.